Hey guys, it's Friction here, Tank12, however you call me, I don't really care, and welcome back to World of Tanks. This is the last game of Mirny 13 that I'm ever going to be playing, hopefully. It's probably the last game, because it's the day of the event of Mirny 13. And I thought it would be a great time to reflect on the Halloween game mode and the Halloween event. And, you know, just look into it a bit more in depth to see if the strategy that Wargaming is currently following up with all of these different kind of events that they're doing, if it is adding up. So first and foremost, I think it's great to talk about the things that I did enjoy about the Mirny 13 game mode. I think the general idea of having a map that changes its layout and its style in certain phases is a very new and interesting kind of take in, you know, for wargaming and also for the entire game. I think it's great that they have a lore, that they have a story behind it, that it is interlinked. Although we didn't really see von, what was his name again? I already forgot the name of the mad scientist von Werner or von Braun. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just mixing up names probably right now. But it still is kind of nice to get all these snippets. But at the same time, I mean, I think they could have done probably a better job at interlinking all these different story strings together into one string that actually does make sense. Because I've noticed that the collectibles, to get like all of the different photos, like it doesn't show up as often as you would like, and it just kind of is a little gimmick that's on the side. I think it would have been a lot cooler if they did add that in to be a bit more in depth. Now the second or the third thing that I really did enjoy was I enjoy that Wargaming have added several different difficulty levels, because it gives the entire player base a great opportunity for the novice, for the average Joe, and the already more veteran kind of World of Tanks player the opportunity to play this game mode without having to be kind of scared that they won't be able to really take part in or enjoy it because it's too easy or it's too difficult. Now those parts definitely are good about this game mode. Obviously it's also nice to get different rewards. That's always a good thing. That's always appreciated, and the general thought to make a game mode like this. Then another thing that I did enjoy was also the different vehicle layouts or the different vehicles that they added into the game. And I think it is quite, every vehicle is unique in its gameplay style, and it does show that they put a lot of work into it. But I think definitely the map design, I think the lore, the looks of everything, the enemy design is also pretty interesting, at least having different types of enemies instead of just the guard vehicles, but also having like these rolling mines, the hunters, the big bad boy who is chasing you. It kind of makes the game a bit more interesting, obviously, because you have to run away from him, but after a while it actually gets a bit bothersome and a bit annoying, a bit tiring, if you can say it like that. Unfortunately, that is just like an after effect if you play a lot of this game mode. And yeah, I think also the team play aspect is that they put such an emphasis on teamwork and, you know, being as a group is great, that they had the balls to make the AI better and make the AI like a threat if you're on your own. And I think that's a great idea. It's like a great base, great foundation for any kind of AI game mode that they might be planning. Might it be historical or, you know, like a little bit more fantasy like right here, because it's quite interesting. I think a lot of people did enjoy or do enjoy these a little bit more freaked out sessions and settings, and I think it's a great way for wargaming to test out the water, to see what goes and what doesn't go. And I think this is great for Halloween. This is obviously a pretty damn cool thing to see. But I think now it's time to get into the bit more problematic things about this game mode. Generally speaking, the entire game mode feels a bit too repetitive. That's a problem that, you know, basically every event had. And also that the idea or the general idea of gameplay of this game mode is a bit redundant, and let's face it, it's very quickly uninteresting and boring. Even though the different stages of difficulties that you can choose from, they don't really give you a new feeling of the game mode. They just make it more difficult by allowing you or taking away like certain positions that you were previously able to use, like gaining more Miriam around the map, or, you know, just making the enemies a bit more dangerous. I think the replayability is obviously there because of the rewards, but the way that they have set up this mode does smell once more like it is an entire mode based on, it's Halloween, it's fun, it's a bit of a gimmick, it's a game mode to enjoy Halloween, to celebrate it, but at the same time see if we can maybe get a little bit of money out of the players by adding vehicles that are behind a paywall, by making the missions to unlock these vehicles very difficult to achieve, or only achievable if you play this game mode for a very long time. And that is just a very bitter taste in your mouth when you're playing this game, and you notice that although it's kind of fun at first, it is kind of getting tiresome and annoying after a bit. And I've noticed that I've played a lot of games in both the Malachite and the Grenadier right here. This is the Grenadier, to actually gain all of the 4 crew members that you could gain. No, all of the 5 crew members that you could gain. But in the end, I'd say after like maybe the 10th game, the enjoyment level were seriously low. Let's say the enjoyment level was probably not there anymore. That's what is kind of off-putting about this game mode. It's because the lack of, I think, like a PvE game mode is fun if you're playing it with friends, but if you're constantly playing it solo, it also has a bit of a frustrating ring to it as well. But I've noticed that this game mode does grow tiresome after a while, because you do have to play it quite a long time. It's not a game mode that is over very quickly, but it's a game mode that actually does take a bit to get fully fleshed out and done with. And then, you know, the tier levels and just a way to make it a bit difficult or a bit more difficult, and to hide the vehicles that are actually a lot of fun behind that certain paywall. Or, you know, the 650 gold, it's not like something that is going to kill you in the end, but I mean, it's still 650 gold for a game mode that is available for about a week. And that kind of says a lot about the way that wargaming does monetize these kind of things, and that they're trying to do that even with certain modes that maybe are just there for the sole enjoyment of being something special, something different. And I've played the World of Warships Halloween special, and I have been blown away by the complete difference or the complete different course that both of these game modes have taken. The World of Warship game mode. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to be making a video about that because it's that interesting. But the World of Warship game mode features PvE and PvP gameplay. And if you have played World of Tanks, you know that the PvP is basically where this game is played at and where it's the most effective, where it's the most fun, definitely. Oh, that just really hurt me, and their hedgehog almost took me out right there. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't blow him up. We just got away with one. But yeah. Basically, the World of Warship game mode, you'll be playing as a battleship with like some kind of sci-fi background. Like all the ships are way over the top, and it's, you know, meant to be like that. And I mean the same thing is happening here in World of Tanks. It is way over the top, yes, I do know that, but like in World of Warships, it's way over the top and it's done very well. So you have the opportunity to play these different battleships, but you also have to unlock some of them. I cannot say if the unlock procedure is as strenuous as it is with. Unfortunately, I just got taken out, but I think we're going to be able to go into the next stage. Oh, can he just... Nope. We're gonna lose it. Unfortunate right there. I'm gonna cut this right here and then we're gonna jump into the next game because unfortunately this game mode... Oh, actually, you know what? We might just be able to still do this if he is able to deliver it. Unfortunately. I'm gonna cut it. I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, so we're in another game. We're playing the Malachite. As you can see, most of the people are playing the premium vehicles now, instead of just the standard vehicles that you had access to previously. Yeah, World of Warships did something different. They added a PvE, PvP kind of game mode where you are supposed to be taking out these enemy sea monsters out of the depth, and you can either choose to play with or against players, and you can team up with them, but in the end, the sole purpose is to get a key. This key obviously is going to give you access to certain crates, which you can open with that key, and with that key you have like certain cool valuables that you can pick up. Now, obviously, the players want that key. Why do they want that key? Because they want the goodies, they want the rewards, and that's all neat and dandy and cool, in my opinion. So, in the end, you are trying your hardest to get these keys, and you have maybe teamed up with somebody, because the enemy ships or the enemy, I don't even know what the extraterrestrial life, or maybe you're the extraterrestrial life, is quite tough to take down. So you do team up with somebody, and it turns out that you maybe have taken a key. You've managed to kill the animal or that specific creature, and you have gained a key. And by gaining that key, you have basically made yourself a target on the entire map, because everyone wants that key. The guy you've just been roaming around with sees that you have a key, he tends to backstab you. So what happens? He obviously chooses to leave your group, and he starts to engage you. Now you have to fight back, because you want to retain this key, and you have to get out of the battle zone. So what do? You have to fight your way out, while constantly being under fire from enemy players, and being under attack by enemy, extraterrestrial life, aliens, like these ships, these monsters, these sea monsters that are trying to kill you because you're in their territory. So that is something that adds an entire different layer into that game mode, because it adds the unknown variable of the enemy player into the fray, because maybe the enemy player will betray you, you're not sure, but he will probably betray you in the end. And that makes the thing so much more interesting, because players are always a lot more unpredictable than bots. basically the players are unpredictable. Bots are not unpredictable. They are made after certain schematic numbers and integers and all that stuff. Players, on the other hand, while they do not function like certain robots or computer systems, they're going to be backstabbing you maybe from the start. Maybe they'll backstab you in the end. Maybe they won't backstab you. You have no idea what's going to happen. So once you get into that game mode and you actually get eliminated by another player, there's a chance that you get into an arena. You die with the key, you get into an arena, and while you're in the arena, you have the opportunity to fight for your life, to defeat the enemy players, to get back out on the battlefield, and to play to gain a key. And that gives you another chance, and it makes the thing a lot more interesting, because you have a battle royale kind of scenario where the best player gets out of there, or maybe the player with the most luck. And I've just talked a lot about that game mode. The thing is that this Mirny mode is a bit too... well, it is extremely repetitive. The only thing that you're doing in this game mode is you're driving from A to B, collecting this Miriam, to put it back into the collector, into this Magnus thing. Although the Magnus and all the things, you know, the idea sounds cool, we've already seen this like in a Halloween update 2 or 3 years ago, where you had to collect the same kind of essence. You had something strapped to the back of your tank, and you kind of just bringing it over and back to that kind of thing, to the castle it was back then, to get into the next stage and then win. They've kind of used that gameplay and just added upon it that you have other rewards. And to be fair, the rewards are not entirely worth it, because these rewards are kind of lame. You get the crews, obviously the crew members are great, but other than the crew members, the rewards are kind of lame. The camouflage, the camos, they look very bland if you're playing in standard game modes, instead of, you know, this camo looks great because you can see that the collector at the back has different colors. The tank looks super scratched up. It looks like it has gone through hell and back. That's exactly what this is supposed to be. You're going into another dimension. You're fighting different, like, these monster enemies, and there's like a big boss just roaming around waiting to kill you. You have no idea what's going on, and it's just very bland when you get those skins in a game. I've tried them out, I've looked at them, and they're not very special. So yeah, the game mode and the rewards are not very interesting or spectacular in any way, shape, or form. So what does that leave us? It leaves us with a repetitive kind of gameplay that gets old very quickly because you've already seen it previously. You're now playing, like, maybe after playing 2 or 3 games in every single vehicle, you've basically seen what these vehicles deliver for you, and what these vehicles can do, and it's not very exciting, to be fair. So after a while, the only reason you're still playing this game mode is because you want to get the crew members. And to get the crew members, to get it fast, to not be playing the game mode any longer than necessary, you're going to be pulling out your wallet. You're going to be buying these Malachites and Grenadiers because they're worth more. They just finish the thing faster. They gain more of the points, so that you don't have to play this game mode for any longer, any time, or more time than necessary. And that kind of is very ironic about this entire thing. It's a very ironic thing that you're paying money to be playing less. It should be the other way around, but you know, that's just how it is. And I have to be honest, this game mode, at the start, it felt like something new. It felt like something interesting, but after having played, like, I don't know, about 50 games in it, I just have the feeling that it's like a bit over the top, and it's so repetitive, it's not even funny anymore. And especially after you've played like another game mode with the warships, or World of Warships, that Halloween special, you do get like a feeling of, wow, how much more was possible. I mean, look at this. The map was great. Why not make the map a bit more, I don't know, make it a more interesting? Why not spawn us on different kind of maps? Spawn us on Himmelsdorf all of the sudden. On Himmelsdorf, and we face like, I don't even know, we face different enemies. There's like a certain player that is playing a certain vehicle. Maybe not the Immortal, because that would be probably overpowered, but maybe the player has the opportunity to, you know, direct some of the things, or have someone do something, because having maybe a opposing faction in this could have been a great way to spice things up, you know? To maybe unlock this faction, you had to get a certain kind of level first by playing, you know, the normal mode with the heroes, and then afterwards you had to you have the opportunity, the ability to switch on over and then fight against these players by maybe driving like a corrupted version of the T-54, like the guys that have currently, or that have gone into the void previously before you, and they have been turned into evil characters or something like that. And these vehicles could be engaging you, and it could be the players that like have the opportunity to do that, and their goal is to take you out, and your goal is to get more of the Miriam. So yeah, like it has to be balanced and stuff, but it would be a lot more interesting to have like a random kind of variable in it, instead of just having, you know, these bots that are driving away from you, these rabbits. And like after having shot, I don't know how many 100 rabbits, I think I've seen enough of them. I don't want to see any more rabbits. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play against any more hunters and mines that are blowing up. The only reason you are doing that is because you want to get those rewards, and to be fair, the rewards aren't even worth it. So it kind of leaves a sour taste in our mouth, because usually, or back in the days, these kind of Halloween specials, not even the Halloween specials, all the events that they did in this game, they were not meant to be monetized. They used to be fun little gimmicks that do seem to be quite interesting for a bit, and they're kind of interesting and unique in their execution. For example, the first thing that comes to mind is the Carl 8-bit mortar. That used to be a little mode, and it was so much fun to have something so unique, because it's like this tank game that we all played when we were small, at least if you were a tank fanatic. This little tank game where you had the 2D version, and it's like Bomberman but with tanks, and you know, that is unique. Or we had the tanks playing football during the World Cup. Obviously that wasn't as great. Or maybe have the tanks that are in space doing a race and all that stuff. At least that stuff is unique, and they started with the monetization somewhere around, and they noticed that the people are actually buying into it. And I have to be honest, I'm one of the guys that did decide to spend a bit of the coin to actually use the premium vehicle, because I did not want to be doing this any longer than necessary, because I knew that it would be kind of a bit of a waste of time. I'm doing this because I want to report to you guys what it's all about. I want to give you guys a review of these vehicles, see if they're worth it for you, and that is one of the reasons why I am doing it. To be fair, I think that it's a bit of a disappointment. This mode in the end is a bit of a disappointment, because it does nothing new. It doesn't change the formula, it doesn't shake anything up. At least the last Waffenträger event mode had something where you had to fight against another player, and that player could have been, you know, a complete different kind of type of player than you would be. So like you had a bit of everything in there. Obviously the last Waffenträger mode wasn't perfect in any way, shape or form. It had its fair share of problems. It maybe wasn't as intuitive as you would have expected, but I mean, at least it's kind of something different. It's kind of unique. You have player versus player combat, and I have to go back, or else I'm not going to be able to collect. Or we're not going to be able to get out of this mess. And yeah, I just gotta be honest that oh my god, the Immortal does so much more damage now. No way. They have to do it. We cannot lose again on phase 3 because we were just too passive. No, why is he engaging that guy? Don't do it. Don't die. Thank you. So yeah, what can you say about it? It's just a bit of a shame. It's potential that they have wasted and that they could have worked on and that they could have made more in depth, or they could have just added a bit more stuff into it to make it more unique and to make it less repetitive, because in the end it's kind of a money grab, to be fair. Well, it's a bit of a money grab, and it's a bit of a kind of a lame thing. But look at this. I mean, how cool is that? You have a flying ship. You have a map that changes completely. And that is like the neatest thing and the coolest thing that they have done. And it's so much potential that they've wasted. And I think it's just kind of sad, because we're going to collect this Miriam right here. When you're collecting this Miriam, it's not like you have a kind of an impact on anything after you actually collected the Miriam. Oh, I'm so dead. I am so dead. Like, you collect the Miriam, and that is all nice and dandy, and I have like 44 HP. And yeah, we get to the teleporter, we get the hell out of here, and nothing else happens. It's not like we destroy something. It's not like the Immortal blows up and the world goes back to normal and we save the day or something like that. It's just like, yeah, game over. You are going back to the exit screen, and I hope you had fun. Well, it's not even that. They're not even telling you that they hope that you had fun. I'm absolutely going to get annihilated by the Immortal now in just a second. It's all about just, you know, you're playing this game and you're supposed to be doing it over and over again because of the rewards. And it's no longer the spirit about having a great game mode that is unique in its own way, and it's all about just grinding the most. And I think that's the only thing that is currently going on in World of Tanks and Wargaming's head. It's how can we make everything as grindy as possible to get these people to spend their money on gold, on premium, on everything else, so that we can get the maximum amount of profit out of this game before it does eventually die in maybe 1 or 2 years. And to be fair, that's just something that annoys the hell out of me, that I can sense that this game is slowly but surely running out of ideas how to monetize it. And it just shows that, I don't know, something has changed over there in the headquarters, because I know back in the days they had these unique events that weren't, where you couldn't even buy anything. You just played it, you had fun, and afterwards you went on with your day. You play World of Tanks like the usual, and then after that you know, had the rewards and the medals and all that kind of stuff. But with this game mode, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like it is just as grindy as the rest of the game. And that is going to be my last sentence about Mirny 13. I think it's a bit of a wasted potential. This entire thing right here looks awesome. Once again, everything about this loading screen, about the map, looks amazing, feels amazing, has great potential. But just this entire thing around it, especially this one up there, it's just a waste. It's just a waste. What are these timers? Why can't you play a game mode that they just made for players to use, to play? Why can't you play that? And I think that is absolutely wasted right there. I mean, look at my service record. I've played this game for so long. I've been 10 years into this game now. Look at that. We have the Carl Operation Nostalgia. Win a battle with the Carl Mortar. That is way, way back in April 2014. We had the Bomberman, the Armored Cars for 2016 special event where you couldn't spend anything. We had Operation Winter when Operation Winter, actually it's, I have no idea what that was, but to be fair, it's been a while. Then we had the race cars right here. No, that's Hero of course. Right here, this is the race car King of the Road, and all those kind of things are super cool. Those events were nice, and I just feel like Wargaming have shifted off a little bit right there. I have a shit ton of medals. I didn't even know that. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. As always, if you did, comment down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. It just bugs me. It's so much potential that they wasted. I mean, obviously people did enjoy it. My clanmates did enjoy it as well. I think it was too repetitive in the end, but that's probably just because we're in this ecosystem. We enjoy, repetitive tasks in World of Tanks because we are only used to that. We're not used to having something different, something fun. But yeah, let's conclude this rant and I'll see you guys on the next video.